Geez, that's a really good tutorial there on chaos theory. So the bull's corpse, if they stretch out all the entrails and all the energy, if they eat the corpse, there is the energy being released. And interesting how we banged into that 2.618 and then had to play with it, play with it, play with it, play with it, then lost it. And they did exactly the same thing down against 4669. The dead cat bounce. Then this is the bear. So the bear tried to push this thing lower, couldn't make it. And then the bull reversed this thing, killed the bear right here. And so now this is the bear's corpse. And this is the expression of the energy. If the bull eats the bear's corpse, what kind of energy are they going to get out of that event? And where should that take price? We've made it through the seasonal window. The market is finally washed out. Looks like this little Zen. I've always liked this horizon. This coin treated me really well previous cycles. So here's a good example. And I like this where this market is actually on the other side of trend lines. That's always a good sign. I'd also say too, something like this, you can just simply play connect the dots. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a major resistance level up there. So that is like 10, 11, $12. What a surprise. The double bottom there is 6 and change. That would be a move up into this area, would give you that double. Maybe into the end of the summer. I might see something along those lines. I don't know. Tough one. I suppose you could argue this W itself is going to start causing things like chaos theory to come alive. I wouldn't even be surprised if I really drilled in on this and focused this up, that rally peak was the 2.618. So let's see what we got there. Oh, pretty close, eh? So if anything, what that means is this thing probably still has another push higher here. Interesting how 4669 is right up against those highs. This one's kind of threading a needle, but nonetheless, if you could work a stink bid down there around 6.5, then that means 12.13 gives you your double. That's up top here. Or you just simply buy the W, which is that level right there. And that is 685. And gonna risk to a break of the lows. And 2-1 is right there. And you can just keep working the order here. You don't necessarily have to, don't chase. You're not allowed to chase, right? You could very easily see this thing come back and play against this trend line. So 2-1 off of just buying the double bottom there is $9.06, basically right back up against this original market structure top. So that's not really shocking if we did see that move up there. And it's also not shocking. You could probably make the argument that this is an institutional fingerprint right there. So that high down to that low. And I think you could actually even make the argument that this is an institutional fingerprint. So that high and that low, think of the institutional fingerprints as that sort of conversation that I had with you guys about chaos theory and how this, with this bottom, then the rally, then the failure of that low, this is like the bull's corpse. I love that expression. So that means that we can do chaos theory off of this. And oh, what a surprise. Look at that. And look at that. Geez, that's a really good tutorial there on chaos theory. So the corpse, right? The bull's corpse, if they stretch out all the entrails and all the energy, if they eat the corpse, there is the energy being released. And interesting how we banged into that 2.618 and then had to play with it, play with it, play with it, play with it, then lost it. And they did exactly the same thing down against 4669. So then you could make the argument that the market was heading lower, the dead cat bounce, then this is the bear and the bear's corpse. So the bear tried to push this thing lower, couldn't make it. And then the bull reversed this thing, killed the bear right here. And so now this is the bear's corpse. And this is the expression of the energy. If the bull eats the bear's corpse, what kind of energy are they going to get out of that event? And where should that take price? And interesting how that rally right up into that area was rejected just slightly below it. Be interesting too to go to all the various different exchanges and see if there's, because keep in mind this is versus Tether, maybe versus USD, like actual real currency, maybe we did hit that 2.618. So I guess the point of this whole conversation is there's W's, and those W's are coming in down at the bottom ends of ranges. So if you are a bull and if you believe in this crypto space, ironically enough, this is the irony of all this, is that if you are a bull of crypto, if you do believe in this space, well, now is actually when you have to force yourself to step up and do something. And don't wait for all the kids on social media to be talking about how wonderful it is, because that's after the fact. This is why this game of speculating is as hard as it is.